Gentleman helped demonstrate that the Sunni Orthodox understanding of chapter 66, ayah 12, when it says that we breathed into her of our spirit, the spirit is a reference to Jibril. And he showed me, and that was correct, he showed me it was correct. But this sister seems to think it isn't Jibril.
No, it is Jibril.
Okay, thank you. There we go, that's good.
However, it's not, he doesn't,
My advice is if you don't know this, then just say you don't know it. Because if you're going to debate me about something that you're not familiar with, it's not wise to. Do you understand?
No.
What
you said to me in her vagina.
I believe it's either in this verse or a different one.
No. It's not in her vagina.
So supposedly, this word basically is a reference to the female body part.
Yeah, but
and that's what it means by chastity.
Yeah.
Oh, you agree?
Yeah, no. The angel, what he did, he in her arm, he for example, nafakha means like this, and then this spirit goes in her vagina and...
It does?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. You confirmed that then. Thank you. That's all my point was.
In her arm, not...
But you said vagina.
Yeah, but I said because he's an angel, he can't see her vagina. So
I'm confused. You said it was vagina, now you're saying it's not vagina.
No.
Is it vagina or arm?
He نفخ في من روحه على in arm, and then from her arm goes inside
a vagina.
Her, yes. Not directly.
Alright, so it's indirectly to a vagina.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's what the Arabic says. It doesn't look that way.
This is the tafsir.
Wow. Okay, so my point is that Jibril is involved in an act of creation, the creation of Isa.
No.
Why is he not involved?
In Surah At-Tahrim, verse 12, Allah describes Mary as a woman who guarded her chastity, ahsanat farjaha. The verb ahsanat comes from the Arabic root hasana, which means to fortify, to secure, to protect actively, not passively. This phrasing paints a picture of Mary as someone who intentionally, consciously safeguarded her purity. Not only did she refrain from intercourse, she was never touched, never exposed, never even approached in any sexual way. The Qur'an places her in the highest rank of honor, presenting her as a virgin both protected by God and protecting herself, a woman set apart in sacred dignity. However, some Muslim preachers and commentators, especially those relying on extra Quranic sources, such as hadiths or Isra'iliyat, describe Gabriel blowing into Mary's arm or physical body, with the breath somehow reaching her reproductive organ and causing Jesus to be conceived. But this interpretation doesn't actually align with the Qur'an's own wording. Let's look at the key phrase, فَنَفَخْنَا فَهِي مِنْ رُوحِنَا. We breathed into it from our spirit. What stands out here is the Arabic word fahi, meaning into it, which is grammatically masculine, but the name Maryam is feminine. So the pronoun fahi doesn't refer to Mary herself, but to something else entirely. In the flow of Quranic Arabic, it most likely refers to the jayb, the collar or opening of her garment, as seen in Surah Maryam, verses 17 to 22. The implication is clear. The breath of God was not directed toward Mary's body, let alone her intimate part, but toward a symbolic or indirect space, signifying a divine command, not a biological act. Now comes the most theologically weighty part, min ruhina, from our spirit. If Gabriel were the one breathing, the text would have said min Jibril or min malaikatina, from Gabriel or from our angels, but it doesn't. It uses the phrase our spirit, a term the Quran rarely mentions, and when it does, it carries deep and powerful meaning. In Surah Al-Isra, chapter 17, verse 85, we read, "The Spirit is of the command of my Lord." This points to Ruhina as something far greater than a created being. It speaks of a divine reality, and from a Christian perspective, we recognize this as the Holy Spirit, God's very own Spirit, who actively brings about both creation and incarnation. So, if someone insists that Gabriel breathed life into Mary, a serious theological problem arises. Gabriel would then be positioned as the agent of creation. If Gabriel can breathe life into the womb of Mary, he's no longer a mere messenger. He becomes a creator. From a Christian theological perspective, we understand that the Holy Spirit, or the Spirit of God, is not a created being but a divine person, God Himself, who actively works in the mystery of the Incarnation. So when the Gospel of Luke, chapter 1, verse 35 says, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you," it's not describing a biological or physical process. It's describing a sacred and divine act, one filled with mystery and holiness, untouched by any creature, and involving no human or angelic intermediary.
Is that Jibril is involved in an act of creation, the creation of Isa.
No.
Why is he not involved?
So he was only helping this creation.
What's that?
He's helping.
Right, so he's aiding in the act of creation, so he's committing shirk.
Sorry?
Only Allah is the creator, yes?
Yes.
So why is Jibril involved?
No. Because Maryam, he was alone, and Jibril came to her as a man, face of man,
Okay.
to be familiar to her,
Okay.
to telling her,
Yeah.
you will have a baby,
Yeah.
to tell her the truth, what will happen.
But Jibril was breathed into Mary.
Yeah, in her arm.
So the father of Isa in Islam is Jibril. But if you breathe Jibril into... I was having a debate with this guy before. Would you like to continue a chat? I'll be more than happy to keep chat. Maybe you can help. Because this is
ليش يتكلم هو يتكلم نفس الحكايه same misconceptions
Right, so
same things you just repeat them.
can I ask you what I'm asking this sister? Can I ask you that? So
No, I want to ask her first.
هو هل جبريل هو الذي
he wants to hear it from her before he hears it from me. He doesn't trust me.
هو الذي خلق عيسى.
She's more intelligent than you.
وربي بعثها لمريم as a
She's more
man.
intelligent than you. God.
No, he didn't. Allah created. Allah created Jesus.
But did he not breathe Jibril into her?
Allah created him.
But Jibril did.
Allah created him.
But he sent the spirit, which is Jibril, into her.
It's not like that. He said,
Whether or not-
"ونفخنا فيها من روحنا."
What's
We
that?
have
What's that?
blown into her from our spirit. That's it. It doesn't say. It doesn't say Jibril. Huh?
What's that? What?
ونفخنا فيها من روحنا.
Okay.
What?
I know. I need to check. I need to check.
You check the translation or what?
Well, the translations
check? I
sometimes
didn't
lie.
know. I'm
That's my
just
point.
asking.
Sometimes
I'm just
they
asking
lie
you.
in the translation.
I'm
so
just
I don't
asking
trust
you.
them. But my point is this: is that Allah uses Jibril by breathing Jibril into Mary.
Allah is the mediator. It's like Allah is
a mediator.
Allah is the mediator between Muhammad.
Allah is not the mediator.
I don't want people to think. Allah is
If you're going to be
no,
here,
no,
you're
sorry,
going to
Jibril, the mediator.
Okay, go. I was going to say you could be that. But if Jibril is involved, then he is involved in creation.
No, it says وَفَنَفَخْنَا فِيهَا مِنْ رُوحِنَا. It doesn't say Jibril. It doesn't say Jibril.
She said it wasn't Jibril, but another Muslim said it was Jibril. Is the spirit
And we
Jibril?
have the translation is we have blown into her
Yeah.
from our spirit.
And what is the spirit according to your deen?
Spirit, ruh. It's not,
And it's not Jibril.
Not Jibril. No,
It's not Jibril. It's not Jibril.
Not the Holy Spirit.
Is it Jibril? Is it Jibril?
No.
Huh?
You have spirit.
Yes.
You are the Holy Spirit.
Do I have the Holy Spirit?
No. I have spirit, yeah?
Yeah.
Am I the Holy Spirit? No. So that's different.
Right. Has I got anything to do?
Because it's a rule.
Has I got anything to do?
Everyone
with
has
whether
a spirit.
the spirit here is
Yeah,
Jibril or not?
It's not to do with the Holy
Will
Spirit.
you look at that camera and say that that is not Jibril?
It's not to do with
Look
the
at
Holy
that camera and say that the spirit is not Jibril.
It's not to do with the Holy
then
Spirit.
say
It's
to the
do
camera.
with the Spirit.
You won't say to the camera because you know that's wrong. You know that's a lie. Why are you lying? Wait. But no. I asked that Muslim friend, and he even showed me there were translations saying Jibril.
You're rude, you're rude. Lie.
Because I just showed.
What did I lie to you about?
Do you want me to get translations where they say it's Jibril? You want me to do that? Doesn't matter. You just told me it wasn't Jibril.
You just bring you're looking for new people, yeah? You've been saying these
But
things.
are you not a
So I've
person of
seen you
knowledge?
before. You know, I've been coming here for 40 years.
Okay, so you are a knowledgeable man.
Years.
You are a very knowledgeable man. So you
I
should
don't
know
say
better.
about myself I'm
I've been here 2 years. And you've been here 40 years.
40 years.
You should know. You should be much better.
When a Muslim woman claims that Gabriel blew the Spirit into Mary, as described in Surah At-Tahrim, verse 12, she's repeating a widely accepted interpretation found in Islamic tafsir and traditional narratives. But when a Muslim sheikh later refutes her, saying it wasn't Gabriel, but rather the Spirit of Allah or Ruhina, a deep theological contradiction is exposed at the very heart of Islamic belief. The Qur'an, in fact, never mentions Gabriel by name in this verse. Surah At-Tahrim 66:12 simply says, "We breathed into it from our spirit." There is no mention of Gabriel. No angel is named. Yet many Muslim scholars still insist that Ruhina refers to Gabriel, even though the Qur'an itself sets a firm boundary in Surah Al-Isra 17:85. "The Spirit is of the command of my Lord, and you have not been given knowledge of it except a little." That verse serves as a divine warning, not to speculate beyond what's revealed. And yet, many Muslims boldly cross that line, claiming with certainty that the Spirit is Gabriel, despite the lack of any explicit Quranic evidence. From a biblical standpoint, this confusion becomes even more apparent. The Bible draws a clear and consistent distinction between Gabriel, the messenger angel, and the Holy Spirit, the divine person of God. When Gabriel appears to Zechariah, he introduces himself plainly. "I am Gabriel, who stands in the presence of God." He is a servant, but when he speaks to Mary, he does not say, "I will come upon you." Instead, he declares, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you." Gabriel never claims divine authority. He simply points to the one who holds it. He plays no creative role in the incarnation of Christ. He only delivers the message. If a Muslim insists that the Holy Spirit is Gabriel, then logically, they must also accept that Gabriel was the one who filled not only Mary, but also John the Baptist, Zechariah, and Elizabeth, since the Gospel tells us that all of them were filled with the Holy Spirit, even simultaneously. This leads to an unavoidable problem. If the Holy Spirit is Gabriel, then Gabriel must be omnipresent, able to be in multiple people at once. But that's impossible for a created being. Angels are not omnipresent. They are finite spirits, sent one at a time to serve according to God's command. Psalm 91:11 affirms this, "He will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. Not one angel for everyone, but many angels sent for individual tasks." To equate the Holy Spirit with Gabriel is to diminish the divinity of the Spirit, while elevating a creature to the role of God. It is both theologically inaccurate and spiritually dangerous.